Good morning. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day today. It's Friday. It's sunny out. I'm going fishing today. I'm hanging out with family, friends. It's gonna be a good day. But before we do that, we gotta take some money out of the market. We got to get our piece for the day. So let's see what's going on in the market. We have some news at 9:45. That's going to be coming down here really soon, and we literally just wicked above these equal highs. We'll see how we react to these equal highs that were hit right there. We'll see what happens. Here is the 1 minute. We got the 5 minute on screen as well, and then right off screen I look at a 15 minute and a 1 hour. That is what I'm looking at. And let's see, I'm putting some other lines up here. We got our midnight open. Midnight open is sitting right here. Midnight open sitting right there, and open is in 23 seconds. All right, so we have a high, low, higher high. Here's a market structure shift right there. Let's see what happens with this. I don't want it to drop without me. I would like it to come back up and eventually touch me right there. Nice momentum to the downside right there. Man, nice little push right there. Just dropping, dropping, dropping. See if we can get an opportunity. We got these swing lows right here. Now we do have these triple equal highs. Yes, we swept it, but we really didn't run through it. We didn't run through it that hard. So with those triple equal highs, I'm probably going to wait on this. I want to see how we react to that level. I mean, triple equal highs, that's a big draw. Hopefully our sound's working. Looks like everything's on. Audio's capturing. Okay, we're good. So we could look at this level right here. We don't have a fair value gap to the left. This is the one I like. This has a fair value gap right here. Okay. Now, what I'm going to be looking at is if it closes above this fair value gap, I'll probably look at taking a long. If we don't close above it and hit this level, I'll be looking at that as a short. But we have these triple equal highs that are sitting right here. We just wicked above it right here. And this looks like a really strong manipulation leg. This seems very obvious that price, if it comes through this, may just want to continue higher. You see the 5-minute wick lower. It's closing green as of right now. 4 seconds left. Let's see what price wants to do right here. We're right off the open here. This can be constituted as a short. It didn't come all the way up and hit my level. It did just stop in this fair value gap, which would constitute that. But we have a lot of volatility right off the open. Let's see how price wants to react here. We also do have news at 9:45. So 9:45, we have some news, which is in about 12 minutes. And this is indicative of price action sometimes before news. We get these elaborate ups and downs, but it really, even though it looks like it's moving somewhere, it doesn't. So you could theoretically take a long right here and probably work out. You could probably take a short right here and it'd probably work out. But it may not. And that's why you don't make a strategy like that. I guess you could make a strategy like that. It's just not one that I am willing to do. $30 seconds left on this 5-minute. Let's see where this 5-minute closes. Four seconds. The 5-minute candle closed green. This is I'm interested in this, but not sure if I want to take it before news. All right, no close. Not much to say before news. I am just gonna watch this level right here. We can that I think that would be very attractive. We did just hit the breaker there. I don't think I'm interested in that based on this. I'm only wanting to see the invalidation of this fair value gap for long. Party's probably not going to start till 9:45. 15-minute. We have. I'm not even on the screen here, aren't I? Let's see. What if we do that? Is that better? There we go. That looks much better. I found a comfy spot. Comfy spot leaning on my chair right here. All right, so this fair value gap right here, we would not take a long off of. We're really looking at this level right here. Looking hindsight is this would have worked. This would have been a nice trade, but I really was targeting and my eye was on these equal highs. So when you have an idea and you miss the opposite, I mean, it just is what it is. You're going to miss it. My idea was that we were going to go maybe change. Yeah, I saw this before, but I'm like, we have these triple equal highs. See, 1, 2, 3, all sitting right there. Yeah, we wicked a little bit above it, which can validate this trade lower, but I didn't take it. I would love for this not to run to, make me feel good. We got 5-minute closes in 20 seconds. Let's see if it closes where it closes. If it closes above or below this fair value gap. All right, I like that. I really don't want it to close below. News should be out of here in 5 minutes. Let's see if it wants to take 5 minutes to get up here and then run through it. All right, so we grab these swing lows. We have the singular fair value gap for this high. The only reason I don't like it is because this is the fair value gap that's holding us down. So you're basically risking that if we inverse this fair value gap, that we are going to inverse this fair value gap and hit this high. That's not necessarily the case, especially when you have another fair value gap holding price down. You don't want to use this fair value gap, you want to use this one. So we're not really going to look at this one here. We're still have our eyes on that one. Two minutes till news and our close of the 15-minute candle. Let's see how that closes. It's filled in the BISI, the fair value gap, but it has not. We'll find out if it wants to close below it here in 2 minutes. I mean, my gut's telling me we're probably going to move higher. We're pretty low in discount from the range yesterday. And we do have this opening range gap still that needs to be filled. So that has not been filled yet. So even though with this push, I'm still looking for this to be filled and for these equal highs to be ran that are sit right here. So we've been respecting every single bearish fair value gap. Bearish fair value gap has been respected every single time. All right, let's see what happens here. I'm on the 30-second right now. It's the lack of wanting to move lower. Let's see. We really want to see where this closes. Bodies closed above these bodies. It wicked lower. We have London lows right here. And our new week opening gap. So central equilibrium for the week, and today's Friday. All right, so NQ did not hit its 440 low. ES did, so we have an SMT there. Let's see if NQ wants to move higher from this point on. That candle doesn't look like it wants to. We have a 4-hour swing low. That's sitting down underneath here. That if price wants to continue lower, that would be an obvious target for a 4-hour. Right down there. Sell side liquidity on the 4-hour time frame. So it looks like our breaker did end up playing out right here. It was before news, and that was really it was before news, and we had these triple equal highs were the main reasons why I didn't take it. When there's reason for it to go higher, you just have to stay out. All right, I'm waiting for, okay, so NQ finally hit the low. Now I want to put a fib on here to see where price may want to run to as far as retracement. We'll drag this equilibrium as price moves lower, but I just want to start seeing where price may go. Let's get rid of that. Nice little wick above with a massive drop. Nice, nice, nice. So we can either we can do one of two things when the opportunity presents itself. We can either try to play a retracement back up to equilibrium of whatever this move is, if a trade presents itself based on an inversion, or we wait for it to retrace approximately 50% or to a key level, and then we look for a continuation lower if we think that we have lower prices to come. We do have relatively equal lows sitting right here, which is the beginning of a daily fair value gap. So right there, this is equal lows. And then we have another daily fair value gap we could tag into. That's at 19,760, and we're at 19,930. That's 200 points away. So that's a ways. So I'm really interested on how we react to this sell side liquidity here before we ever consider that there. We're obviously moving lower below the London lows, so prices are moving lower. And if we take this manipulation leg, let's do the manipulation leg on this 5 minute. Higher. The four standard deviations sit right below this 4-hour sell side. 1 minute was right, or the one standard deviation was right at equilibrium from where we had it before. Let's see. Okay, so no 30-second inversion that we can really look at because we have double fair value gaps. We're not interested in double fair value gaps. So on the 1 minute, we have a 1 minute fair value gap sitting right at the London lows, and that we could use to attack this swing high right here. But it's hard to want to go short when you got equal highs here. I don't know how I feel about equal highs. Me taking a short when there's equal highs has saved me. But me missing a short because of equal highs, I have been left behind as well. So it's really a subjective rule that you have to decide, is missing an opportunity in place of protecting yourself from a potential loss worth it? And personally, I go back and forth. I just didn't take it because I have a rule of not taking or looking at shorts when there are equal highs or triple equal highs. So we're really waiting for a good setup to take place. I apologize. I did not have my chats open. Inner Trader, how you doing, man? It's good to see you today. I'm glad you're here. Raul, glad to have you. Hopefully you guys both had fantastic trading day. I'm doing well. I'm looking forward to going. I'm doing some fishing today with my family. We're going to be doing, I'm going to take my kids out to the lake and we're going to go fishing. We're going to try to catch some walleye. Expecting InterTrader, I don't know when you sent this, expecting to spike down to 19,700 region before retracing for longs, but I will react to whatever happens through today. So we are at 19,900. So 700 definitely is down here. That would be, I mean, I think 19,700 may be a little aggressive. We got these equal lows down here at 17 or 19,760. I like those levels. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I had my chart covering the bottom half of my chat, and so it was covering it all. So I apologize because I like chatting. And then once we get a nice 1 minute market structure shift, I'll be looking to go long. I agree on the market structure shift. I would love a long. We've hit London lows. We haven't hit the 4-hour sell side yet, but I don't think I need that for a retracement. Here's our 50% retracement for the move. 980, that's 50 handles up to this point. So there's some room if price wants to do it. Not sure if these equal lows are going to play a part into it as well. I mean, I would want to see those ran first. Those are too smooth. Too smooth. The 1 minute and the 2 minute both look nice. They're both around the same spot. The 2 minute just has another minute. I'm not on future prices. Got it. That makes sense. Are you on the US 30? The retracement was at 20% level, the weekly candle. Yeah, I think that's irrelevant on the weekly. Simply because, the weekly is gone. We're at opening prices for the week. We're at equilibrium. So 19 seconds for this close. I'm interested in that. All right. Oops. All right, so it didn't close, and we got this nice reaction before we were able to take a trade. 50% is already right here, so too high for me to take. Decide not to close above it, and then you decide to just explode before it. Thank ya. Thanks for leaving me behind. All right, so let's see what happens right when we hit this. I'm curious. I always like seeing what happens at the 50% because it gives me confidence for future trades on how I need to respond to these. Okay, so we stopped short of it. If we find support here, not immediately, but if we kind of linger here and then find support right in this inversion, I may use that as a long. I just want it to come down a little bit lower. I mean, I can't just in good conscience just decide to take a long anywhere there. That just makes no sense. I know. I mean, I wish, the NASDAQ should be more polite, in my opinion. It should be like, yo, Tyler, I'm about to run, so you might want to get in. A text message. Hey, now. That would be nice. So it's 10 o'clock right now. We got the 10 o'clock. Let me get a bigger, wider view of this. Do we potentially have a macro going on here? I want to keep this up because I've missed too many trades while I'm doing higher time frame analysis. Okay, so we potentially have our consolidation. We have an expansion lower. We have our redistribution, expansion lower, redistribution, and then we run lower. We grabbed London lows. We left the 4-hour sell side liquidity here. We had a change in state of delivery, or based on this candle here, because this is the first candle that crossed the London lows. So we broke through that. We should find some support right around here. If I think. Could come all the way down to this inversion right here, or this fair value gap right here, and right here. We also if we're in a sell program, this will blow right through. I was so close to clicking it. Do you see these new week opening gaps sitting right here? I was wanting it to come back and touch it again and see what happens here. Okay, let's see what happens here if price wants to hold again. See that? Oh my gosh. Sometimes I'm grateful for my hesitancy and wanting to see price action do exactly what I want. Let's see what happens here. We have 27 seconds. All right, I'm going to take a risk here, guys.
Order submitted.
Hit it, baby. That's will be 20 handles. Oh my gosh, don't go on me. I can't let that go negative, so stops at break even. I'm not letting that go against me. So stops to break even right now. I'm not letting that go against me. If it's gonna run, it's gonna run. I think I'm gonna move my stop to this high, or my target to this high. If we don't stop me out, we're not just gonna go to this level. We'll probably at least run to here. So if I'm not getting stopped out on this, we will hit these, and I think we could hit that for 26 handles. That would be real nice. So that's where I'm gonna put my target at. Come on, baby. Not liking that?
Order filled.
All right, stopped out there. Lost out on 10 handles, not taking profit. But it's turned out to be a break-even trade. I know. Son of a gun. It probably could still go here, but I got stopped out at break-even. I like that. I mean, this is set up to run. If we... Let's see, I might re-enter this depending on what happens here. It's probably going to run without me. I might chase it for this equal high. I know. It's probably going to. I mean, I could have got in earlier in here and not have my position so high. That would have been nice. But I didn't.
Order filled.
I don't know why I just clicked that, guys. I'm probably going to get out here real quick. I shouldn't have clicked that. I'm in drawdown a little bit.
Order submitted.
Okay, I'm setting a stop loss here. Stop loss move to break even. If this runs, it runs. If it doesn't, it's another break even trade.
Order filled.
Dang it,
Order
took
filled.
me out. Well, we're gonna, I'm glad I had it at break even. We're just this initial trade right here is still valid. This is the idea. If you guys are wondering what kind of trade we're taking, it's based off of this inversion right here. And we've been respecting it. Oh, it just literally wick tapped me, and it's probably gonna run right here.
Order filled. Order filled.
All right, I got in for that little motion. Got in and out for that. Okay, that gave me about 10 handles on that momentum push right there. So what did I do there? I basically saw this candle starting to run, and we were already invalidating a few of these. And so I just took it before we got here and we pushed, and I'm going to sell that on the initial push higher because I don't have a proper position. My position entry was right here. Yes, it probably is going to run, but my entry was right here. Okay? So when it runs, see, it went 10 handles right here. This ran for 10 handles immediately, but because of my poor positioning, I can't take this. So I can't hold this. Really proper positioning, I should have been in down here. This is where I should have been in. If I was in down here, I would take size off here and then I would hold it. Or I would still take size off here and I would be up 25 handles. So it ran without me because I did not take the position down here. I should have taken the position right here and tell myself, hey, this is a low risk trade, meaning if we invalidate from right here, I'm out. If we close below this, I'm out. But I didn't because you got these down closed candles and you're like, is it going to keep going? So I should have, hindsight and journaling purposes, is okay, we didn't hit this high on this initial push. We came back down into here. We respected it 1 time. We respected it 2 times. I should have been in right here and I should have put my stop loss there. That would have been a 10 handle stop loss if we were to break below this, right? But we never did. We never did, and so this trade would have been valid the entire time. But because I just had such poor positioning, the up and down stopped me out at break even twice. So you could see the writing on the wall that it was going to run. It's just, when is it going to run, and am I going to get in there at the right time without it stopping me out? So that's kind of the logic behind it. I missed it. I chased it. To me, it was a decent chase with these equal highs, with this inversion being respected. And so I sold for 10 handles. That type of play is only going to come from experience of watching the charts over and over again. And as you can tell, I failed it once. I failed it twice. The first time was my first entry. My second one was, hey, maybe this is going to work. you know, and it failed on that time. I should have waited until I started seeing as invalidating or basically running against this LRLR right here. And then that is telling me, hey, we're going to run the rest of this really fast. And that's exactly what happened. It ran the rest of it really fast. So if you have a nice smooth LRLR, low resistance liquidity, meaning there isn't any fair value gaps from this point to this point. You see how there's no fair value gaps at all here? There's not a single fair value gap that price could find resistance in. We call that low resistance liquidity. And so when we start invalidating them and they're all really close together, we're not just going to run this one. Let me get a little closer here so maybe it's a little clearer for you. When we start running this high and this high, we're not just going to stop here. We're going to run this one, this one, this one, and this one. We're going to run all of these because it's low resistance liquidity. There's no fair value gap that's going to hold price down. And that's exactly what happened. So when we started invalidating this, that's when I got in for my chasing up to these highs, and I sold it on the push through gate, which gave me 10 handles. Okay, so I'm happy. I'm happy with that. Let's see if there's anything else that we can get a proper setup. So I see a market maker buy model taking place right now. So what do we have here? We have our smart money reversal. We have our swing low. I want to see if we want to run this low. I would like to see this low ran. This, I would call this a short term. I want to see what happens there. If we run this low right here and we get a setup for a long, I'll take it long to run towards the equal highs. That's what I would like to see. We're past 50% here. Nice breaker we missed. What's up, Matt? How you doing? How you doing? It's a beautiful Friday out. I got several kids that have come up to my door. I have a door with it's like a French door, and they just come in, they're just staring at me, and then they walk away because they know I'm on a live stream, so they know not to bother me. But they just look at me. That's what I like to see. If we run this high right here and then run for the lows. No NQ trading. What's no NQ? What are you doing your discipline on? Here's a 30-second fair value gap that we could target this high that we never grabbed yet. So we never grabbed it. It looks like it's going to leave it there for a little bit. I heard what you're saying about the kids. Mine are on their way back from school now. Yeah, I know. We have no school right now. You have school? What time of year is it where you're at, Matt? Or where are you at? This isn't actually, I mean, this is important if you want to take this inversion on the 1 minute. So there's an inversion right here to target that you could take right here for these lows. This becomes now as a B plus setup because we didn't take these highs. If it took these highs, that's why I have this written out. If it took that high and then closes below this box, that'd be a beautiful play for these equal lows right here. Good morning, John. The UK, we had a break for 2 weeks ago. Is that you only get like a 2-week summer break, or do you guys do school like year round? So I really wanted to see it hit this high right here before it did this, but it doesn't mean if it leaves this for later and we still break this low, I would look for a long. But I'm less likely to take this inversion lower because it might not go all the way down. You took a long right here, InterTrader? Matt, that's my wife's job. That's funny. Okay, I like that. I mean, let's see. We got support here. We should find some support. It just depends if it wants to stab below this. I think we may stab below this and then go long. That's kind of my idea right now. So it still didn't close below this, but we have a big push. We still have 28 seconds left. Okay, so we stabbed below this, but didn't grab this low. I really want it to grab this low because that would make this a short-term low and this an intermediate term low, meaning we could see some movement higher from this point. You also do have support at the new week opening gap as well, Matt. I like that as well. We did grab a little liquidity right here. So if we did get some quick momentum, I would still take a long, even though we didn't grab this low. We did grab these lows, this swing low here. I was really looking for this swing low, though, personally. And we also closed really low from this inversion, so you would not want to go short here. That would just be not smart. The 2 minute also closed within it as well. That's a bullish sign right there. So I may look at an entry on the inversion of this, either on the 2 minute or the 1 minute. It would have to be the 2 minute because there's a fair value gap here and a fair value gap here. So it would have to be the 2 minute entry. Yeah, it still could go grab it down here. I mean, that's why I'm not doing anything. The only way I'm interested in going long is if it invalidates a fair value gap, a bearish fair value gap, and then that would be my sign that it may leave these and run for liquidity. Yeah, we have a 15-minute BPR, but we also have triple equal highs there as well, John. I think to me, that's my draw on liquidity that I'm really looking for, are these triple equal highs sitting in this 1 hour fair value gap. There's also reason, I mean, there's also reason for us to still go lower as well. There really is. We have a 1 hour. If you want to see the 1 hour here, the 1 hour doesn't have any reason to go back up to this fair value gap right here, this 1 hour, because we already wicked up into it. We still have this sell side liquidity here and these equal lows down here. So there's reason for both. So we just need to play what we see. We just got to play what we see. We have a 5-minute BPR that just formed right here. This nice 5-minute. So if we get a setup, if I see a breaker or a nice inversion short, I'll take that. But right now I'm not seeing that. And this is my sign that we're going lower. A close below this inversion. Because it is clear that this is the inversion that's supporting price right now. So if price wants to move lower, it needs to break below this. And that would be an invalidation of any longs, in my opinion. Yes, I want it to wick below it, but I don't want it to close below it. Yeah, 1 minute fair value gap inverted, getting nervous. Yeah, it's sitting around there. Yeah, Monday's low would make sense for the week as far as a weekly target. For the Monday low, that would be the low of the week. That would be your weekly low. That would be right. That'd be right there, right? That would be the weekly low. And that would be a nice weekly bearish candle. That's a sign of a topper right there if we close that way. I mean, I'm talking, I'm kind of, you might sound like I'm going all over the place. I'm really just looking at what price wants to give me. Okay, so we just made equal lows. I wanted to close. I like that close as far as bullishness, but I want to see us wick below and close up. If we close below this, all longs are off. Now see that look at that reaction right there. I like that. Now, as long as we close green, I want to see us close green and push higher. I would do this 30-second for these equal highs right here. Right there. So I have a lot of these boxes on here, but they're there for a reason. After a move lower like this, I want to see an immediate. I want to see a fair value gap left behind. So I want to see a push. Come on. I don't know if you're still in this, Matt, but I'm rooting for a long here, personally. We are still closing above the consequent encroachment of this inversion. Man, this is messing emotionally, man. That is like an emotionally draining trade right now. If you're long, this is tough. This is emotionally draining. This is a 30-second fair value gap. A close above this, I'll run these highs. A close below this, I'll look at a short. Well, that's a 2-minute short. We have a 1 minute here, so I probably wouldn't take this. I'm just wanting to see what happens on the 2-minute. Okay, so now that we closed below this inversion, there's a good chance we'll fill this. Doesn't mean we'll close below it, but we could fill this completely and still see a move higher, but this is a good sign we may see the closure of this. It's not a guarantee, but it's just higher probability. Because I've seen closes like this right there, where it closes right above it and then continues higher. We got 7 seconds. Let's see what happens here. Looks like we're getting a close below. All right, so close below that inversion gap. That invalidates that trade idea. We're going to get rid of this for right now. To clear up our charts here. We really didn't have any short entry, really. And we are really low. If we were going to take a short, it should have been up here, and it would have been a breaker style, but we didn't even grab this liquidity here. So I guess let's just see what happens here. This still is a valid trade, even though it closed below this inversion gap. This is still a valid 30-second. We're at 9:30 or 10:35. I might want to wait till the macro. Like I don't know who said that. Who said the macro? Was it Matt? Maybe. Oh my gosh! See what I'm talking? It's going without us. We didn't even close above this. We have this 1 minute that we can. Was that a 1 minute or 2 minute? Oh, it was a 2 minute. We have this 2 minute that we can target. Grab liquidity on that 30-second candle. We're not looking at a re-entry on this 30-second. I'm not taking that. We do have this breaker right here, a low, high, lower, low. That might be legit. We're just hanging around this new week opening gap, man. Nothing looks super attractive to me right now. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little trigger shy right now. I'm a little trigger shy. I'm seeing disrespecting of different things that just makes me question if I want to put risk on the table. I like this idea for a long. We just grabbed some liquidity here. I like this idea for a short as well. I mean, there's just too many. Both could happen. You know what I'm saying? It just makes me want to sit out until something becomes more clear and more obvious to me than what I'm currently seeing. We have these relatively equal lows down here. We didn't close below that. We still didn't close below this 30-second. Yeah, John, I agree with you. There's just the only one that looked really good that I didn't take because it was before news was that initial break, the bearish breaker. That bearish breaker looked beautiful, but I was really looking at those equal highs, and I chose not to take it because I was looking for a long, and it just drops right here. So here was the equal highs, and equal highs were right here. We swept it barely. So we have this high, low, higher high, big break lower, and right here we hit our entry for our short. And that would have been on just that initial run about 40 handles. You just gotta laugh, man. When you miss stuff like that, it's almost better when you can get to the point where you're laughing at some of that stuff. Hey, at least they show up every day. They're showing up pretty much every day to every other day. So, they'll come again. You just got so many things that are happening right around open. You got the opening price, you got news. Those two things, the volatility right at open, just make things like, I'm questioning, should I do that or not? You know? All right, so we have a close below that 30-second. Let's see if we run for these lows right here. Close below the 30-second right here. This right there is the close below the 30-second. Let's see if we grab these. That would give us from this low, 49 to 43. That's only 6 handles. So you would want to target a little bit higher, but you would set your break even. Let's see the short position. Let's see if it's gonna run against us. So that would be roughly our stop loss, a close below, a close above this level right here. Okay. So close above that. This is why we're not taking it, right? Because the probability is so low because both is an option. So this tells me I'm sitting on my hands right now. Okay, I'm sitting on my hands until something. That right there is my confirmation that I'm waiting. I'm waiting for something clear. Waiting for lots of aggression, which we may be getting right now. We got 3 minutes till the macro. Let's look at the 2 minute. I like this 2 minute fair value gap right here. Okay, I do like that one. It is a long play, 81 to 8, so that's almost 30, 26 handles. But the way I'm looking at this is we got our low, we got our short-term low, we got our intermediate term low on the buy side of a market maker buy model. That's how I'm seeing this. We've had every opportunity to go lower. And right now we're just in consolidation as far as this price action goes. So I'm looking for an expansion higher. We have these relatively equal highs right here and the triple equal highs. I see it's more probable for longs, considering yesterday was a big down move day. We've hit some key levels. We're at equilibrium we're at the opening price on Monday. So we're right around equilibrium, which makes everything low probability because we're at equilibrium on the weekly. We're at the opening price on the weekly candle. So that's just low probability. We're neither in premium or discount on the in a weekly time sense. In a weekly sense. Now, if we look at on the 15 minute or the 1 hour, if we look at the 1 hour here, we're in extreme discount from this high to this low. So that means if I'm going to take a play, I probably want to focus on longs. Personally, we're in extreme discount. Now you can also do that same concept on lower time frame ranges. So dealing ranges. So from this high to this low, we're also below the 50%. So we probably want to see longs here as well, right? So if we're going to take a short based on this dealing range, you want it to be above this 50%. This is how we protect ourselves on that play. Now, in Matt's defense, Matt took his long on this stab lower into discount. That's not a bad idea. Logically, it makes sense to take a long in discount. We just have the big range that it can play around and mess around, and price has been just indecisive. So the idea was right as far as being in discount, taking a long. I totally agree with it. So I'm probably leaning towards longs than I am shorts because of just where we're located from this higher time frame dealing range and this lower time frame dealing range. We're both in discount. Hey, if you guys can, if you like that commentary and it's making sense to you, give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. On the dealing range conversation, specifically why we want to look for longs. I'd appreciate a long. Or not appreciate a long. I would appreciate a long. Probably appreciate a long more than a like, but I would appreciate your like. All right, we got a minute left on this candle here. We're coming up in the macro. We're in the macro time, so higher probability price will run instead of not do anything. I just don't want it to run without me. We got a whole minute left. Reason why we're not taking it on the 1 minute is we got this tiny fair value gap right here on the 1 minute. Okay. So I want to find a dealing range with a singular fair value gap. There is not a single fair value gap except for this one right here. Okay. Now if we're up here, I'm probably not going to take this long here. I'm probably going to want to look for a retest here. It could just run without me, and I'm fine with that. I'm going to be careful.
Order filled.
All right, I'm going to take that right there. We're looking at a close below that. As soon as we break this initial candle's high, I'm moving my stop to break even.
Order submitted.
As soon as we hit this high. My position entry is right here. That's where my entry is. My stop is sitting right now. It's sitting right there. Target would be that high. As soon as we break this level, stop will be moved to break even. Okay, stop's moving to break even. Let's go down to the 30 seconds, see if we have any resistance here. So we have a swing high right here. Swing high sitting right there that we could find some resistance to after price hits that level. So I might take profit there instead, because we're already up real nicely.
Order submitted.
I only have one contract, so I can't scale. That's a beautiful reaction. Beautiful, baby. Let's pump. Go. Come on. Just give me a nice 25 handles. Come on. Son of a gun. I kind of want to just be done for the day. I'm going to take it.
Order filled.
I'm going to take it. Yeah, I took it, guys. I took it. I'm off. I'm happy. I'll take the 10 points and I want to be done. I know that was emotional. It's Friday. I'm emotional. Yeah, I'll take that and be done. I don't want it to come back and hit me at break even. And it looks like it is. Let's see, I had my position. My break evens would be right here. Let's see what happens. Yep, that would have been a break-even play. I'm happy with 10 handles. All right, guys. We're gonna call it a day on this beautiful Friday. Thanks for being here. I will be back here Monday morning. I'm not sure if there's news or not, but we'll be back here on Monday morning. Thanks for being here, guys. We will see you next time. Take care.